What I'm introducing you to is a relational technology that has the power to deliver on our wish for sustained, satisfying, intimate relationships between us. I am here today to invite you to literally a new way of living on the planet, a relational way of living, an ecological way of living. This is not pie in the sky idealism. This is a pragmatic way to go through your day in and day out, with a very different map and a very different set of skills that we'll be covering over time. But today, I want to just deal with the map. In my new book, Us, Getting Past You and Me to Build a More Loving Relationship, that came out in June and that I'm very proud to say is a New York Times bestselling book, I critique what I call the toxic culture of individualism. And that critique stands on top of 40 years of my fighting against and critiquing the toxic culture of patriarchy. We have never wanted more from our relationships than we want right now. We really want to be lifelong lovers. We want to be intimate. We want to have heart-to-heart talks and long walks on the beach and great sex in our 60s and 70s and beyond. But our culture is not a relationship cherishing culture. It is an individualistic, patriarchal, narcissistic, addictive, and pretty primitive culture from my perspective. And we don't teach our sons and daughters and non-binary kids the basic skills of how to realize this historically new ambition of truly intimate, connected, fulfilling long-term relationships. Nobody wanted that out of marriage a few generations ago. A companionable marriage or long-term relationship was good enough. But now we want more. We have to move beyond the defaults that we learn as kids in that school of relationships called our family. And we have to move beyond the mores of the culture at large. We have to stop thinking like individuals, you versus me. One of us wins, one of us loses, and really live in our bodies the wisdom of being a team, of being an ecological unit. We don't do that. Here's what we're taught. Our Western culture runs on two foundational delusions. The first is that we are individuals, that we stand apart from nature, not a part of it, but apart from it. That's what the word individual means, individuation. I am apart from, I am distinct from. And what we know from the new science of neurobiology is that's just nonsense. We human beings are pack animals. We are designed to be social. As the great neurobiologist Dan Siegel puts it, social interaction is not a biological luxury. It is a biological nutrient. Without it, our brains starve. The idea of self-regulation needs to be taken with a big grain of salt. We don't self-regulate, we co-regulate with one another. Our nervous systems are designed to interact with other nervous systems and not be left on our own. So, no, we are not distinct from nature. We are a part of nature. And this combines with the second core delusion. We are not only individuals who stand apart from nature, but patriarchy teaches us we are individuals that stand above nature and dominate it. We are not above nature and in control of it. Whether the nature we seek to control is our kids, sit down, shut up, do what I tell you, our partners, which could be direct, do what I say, or indirect, let me scurry around and not set you off, let me be codependent, which is another form of control. It could be our bodies, I've got to lose 10 pounds. It could be our minds, I've got to be less negative. We are trying to control ourselves, the people around us, the outcome of our fates all day long. It is a delusion. We are in control of our behavior, and that's on a good day, and that's about it. But the delusion and the desire for control fuels many, many, many of the dysfunctional patterns in couples, in families, between races, between nations. We have to wake up. We need a new model, a new paradigm. We are not above nature. Wake up. We are in it. Our relationships are our biospheres. And you can choose to pollute your biosphere with a temper tantrum over here, but you're going to breathe in that pollution in your partner's withdrawal or lack of generosity or passion over here. You're an ecosystem. You're not separate from it. You cannot escape each other. When you begin to think ecologically, relationally, they're synonyms, you realize that taking care of your biosphere is in your interest. I don't talk about altruism, and I don't talk about selfishness. I talk about short-term greed and enlightened self-interest. It is in my interest to keep my biosphere clean and happy. Why? Because I am there, because I breathe it. I get these big burly guys and they say to me, why should I have to work so hard to please my wife? And I go, knock, knock, because you live with her, okay? Remember? Look, the relational answer to the question who's right and who's wrong is who cares? It doesn't matter. But what matters is how are you and I going to work together in a way that's going to work for both of us? We're a team. What do you need, honey? Let's deal. I'll give you a true example. A couple came to me. I'm sure you've encountered this in your lives or friends or clients. According to her, he was a reckless driver. According to him, she was overly sensitive. And they got into what in relational life we call an objectivity battle. Is it this or is it that? Is he a reckless driver or is she overly sensitive? Back and forth, arguing your case, trying to prove who's right. It's a loser. One session with me. Here's what she sounds like. Honey, I know you love me. I know you love me. I know you care about me. Look, when you drive 20 miles above the speed limit, you cut back and forth in lanes and you tailgate people, call me crazy, call me a nervous Nelly, but I get crazy sitting in the passenger seat next to you. It's scary. You don't want me to be petrified every time I'm in the car with you. As a favor to me, listen to that. Not you're an ass, but as a favor to me, could you please drive more conservatively so I could be more comfortable with you? And he says, true story, to his own amazement, sure. And he does. And what might have been a fight that had gone on for 40 years is solved in 10 minutes because they stop thinking like individuals, win, lose, power struggle. And they start thinking relationally, like an ecosystem, like a team. That's the new map. And once you wake up to ecological wisdom, you're not above it and in control. You're in it. It's in your interest to take care of it. All of the rules change, the language change, and the tools change. What I'm introducing you to is a relational technology that has the power to deliver on our wish for sustained, satisfying, intimate relationships between us. If you want to learn more about how to live this way and operate this way in your relationships at home, at work, in the world, stay member of this YouTube channel. Add your comments. I'd love to hear from you. And stay part of the relational life community.